Skarloey. This is a story about Skarloey, the narrow gauge engine. Skarloey first came to my railway 100 years ago. Read about how the troubles he had when he was brand new and couldn't stop bouncing up and down. Skarloey worked on the little railway on the island of Sodor. He was 100 years old, but he was still a useful engine. All the other engines liked Skarloey. He would tell stories about when he was young. Everyone's favorite story was about the time Skarloey first came to the little railway. Skarloey was built at the same time as another engine called Rheneas. They were both red with 4 wheels each. "We look wonderful," said Skarloey proudly. "We will pull coaches, and everyone will want to ride in them," replied Rheneas. Skarloey and Rheneas were both going to the mountain line on the little railway, but Skarloey was finished first, so he had to go to the little railway alone, leaving Rheneas behind. The two engines felt sad when they said goodbye to each other. Skarloey was sent away on a ship. It was very wobbly. At the port, they used the ship's cranes to lift Skarloey onto shore. The ship's cranes were called derricks. They nearly turned Skarloey upside down. "How dare they treat me like this?" said Skarloey crossly. He was left hanging from the derricks for a long time. At last, an engine arrived to take him to the mountain line. "About time," huffed Skarloey. It was very dark when Skarloey arrived at the mountain line. He felt lonely and miserable. "I wish Rheneas was here," he said sadly. The next morning, there were trucks everywhere. They rattled and roared past Skarloey. "There's no engine pulling them," said Skarloey in surprise. "The trucks come down on the mountain by gravity," explained the manager. "But the empty one, he'd taking up again. That's why you've come." "What?" said Skarloey crossly. "I don't want to pull trucks. Can I pull coaches, sir?" "Certainly not," said the manager. "We have to finish building the line, and for that, we need trucks. The inspector's coming to look at the line soon." Skarloey was furious. The workmen tried to start him, but his fire wouldn't burn, and he made no steam. He just blew smoke at them. They tried again the next day, and the next, and the next, but Skarloey wouldn't do a thing. Finally, the manager lost his temper. "We're not going to look at your sulky face all day, Skarloey," he said. "We'll leave you alone until you're a better engine." They covered Skarloey with a big sheet of tarpaulin and went away. Skarloey felt even more lonely and unhappy. Nobody talked to him. At last, the manager came back. "I hope that you are a better engine from now on," he said. "Yes, sir, I will, sir," said Skarloey internally. From then on, Skarloey, he worked very hard, and he sometimes got too excited and would bounce up and down. And although he sometimes got too excited and bounced up and down, the manager was very pleased with his efforts. By the time Rheneas finally arrived at last, the line was ready. Skarloey was delighted to see his old friend. Rheneas soon settled in. One day, while he was shunting trucks, Skarloey hurried up to him. "I'm pulling the inspector's plane today," said Skarloey. Be careful not to bounce, said Rheneas. The inspector won't like that. But Skarloey was so excited he couldn't stop bouncing. Skarloey had to take the inspector up the mountain and then back down again. On the upward journey went well, and Skarloey felt very happy. When it was time to go down, Skarloey was really excited. As they went faster and faster, he began to bounce. The coaches were scared. He's playing tricks, they said. Bump him! Bump him! Just then, Skarloey gave an extra big bounce. Boing! And the inspector lost his footing. He flew into a bush beside the line. The driver stopped the train. The inspector wasn't hurt, but he was very cross. From now on, you will stay in the shed, he said to Skarloey. You're a bad engine. The inspector told the manager what had happened. The manager felt sorry for Skarloey. He knew he'd been trying very hard to be good. What Skarloey needs is another pair of wheels, he said. Then he won't bounce anymore. So Skarloey, he was sent off to the works. When Skarloey came back, Rheneas hardly recognized him. He had six wheels and a brand new cab. He looked very smart. Now let's see what you can do, said the manager. Sure enough, Skarloey found it much easier to travel along smoothly without bouncing. From then on, Skarloey pulled coaches and trucks up and down the track easily. As anything, and he didn't bounce his passengers once. And 100 years later, he is still as good as new.